Hello friends, welcome to my channel Physics with Rakshit. In the present lecture, I will explain various research outcomes of new quantum spin perspective in physics and quantum gravity. So in this lecture, first of all I will cover what is new quantum spin perspective. Thereafter, I will explain implication of new quantum spin perspective in geometrical operators of quantum geometry. Thereafter, I will explain implication of new quantum spin perspective in physics and quantum gravity. And at last, I will explain quantum theory of yoga or my published research work, that is new quantum spin perspective and space-time of mind stuff. So first of all, let us see what is new quantum spin perspective. In my research work, the link that I have mentioned in this slide, I propose a new perspective of quantum spin or angular momentum in which the Boltzmann constant k beta, Planck temperature Tp, Planck mass mp and Planck area lp square are the integral part of total angular momentum. And with the help of this perspective, I also give novel equation of area and volume operator. What happens in quantum geometry for SO3 group, it means special orthogonal 3 group, the angular momentum operator J sub superscript k is the kth Lie group of generator Tk, hence Tk is equal to Jk, and hence this perspective can be directly applicable to quantum geometry as angular momentum is used to discretized geometry in loop or in loop quantum gravity, which use spin network, and from data the value of area operator as increases with n square in discrete way, which suggests that discrete spectrum of area operator similar to actual formula of area operator, and that is why this perspective gives us an autocorrect or auto balance mechanism within the equation of these operators. At Planck scale, it means that mutual small change in Planck temperature, Planck mass, Planck area occur in such a way that reduced Planck constant, Planck length, area operator and volume operator remain invariant for given value of Ji, and this constancy of reduced Planck constant in the geometrical operator can provide a way through which smooth transition of Planck scale to the nuclear or atomic scale can be understood. So what is new quantum spin perspective? Let's see. To derive the equation, I have considered some concept of thermodynamics. In thermodynamics, temperature is defined as average kinetic energy of considered system of particles, that is 1/2 mv square is equal to 3 by 2 k beta t. Here k beta is Boltzmann constant. Now if we consider equipartition theorem, then instead of 3 degrees of freedom, we can consider 1 degrees of freedom, and equation of kinetic energy will be 1 by 2 k beta t. Thereafter, if I multiply numerator and denominator of left hand side by mass, and if I multiply both sides by square of radius, I can have equation number 2, that is p square r square over 2m is equal to k beta t r square by 2. Now if I consider scalar form of angular momentum, that is L is equal to Rp, the equation becomes L square is equal to k beta t r square m. Here till now we have considered classical domain or classical mechanics. Now if I consider Bohr's hypothesis to which quantized angular momentum in atomic theory, then classical mechanics makes transition into quantum mechanics, and we will enter into quantum realm, and we will have equation 4, that is L square is equal to n square h square is equal to k beta t r square m. Here h cut is reduced Planck constant. Now, if r, t and m are taken of the order of Planckian scale, that is r is equal to Lp, t is equal to Tp and m is equal to Mp respectively, one enters into the realm of quantum gravity. And that is why we will have equation number 5, that is L square is equal to k beta Tp Lp square Mp. Now let us consider some important concept of spin network which are necessary to understand further steps. In spin network, total angular momentum J is more important than angular momentum L, as spin network delivers background independent quantum gravity theory, and that is why Z direction is priori unknown. In other words, in spin network, the value of J plays an important role than the value of M, and thus the total angular momentum capital J is used instead of angular momentum L. So quantum spin, equation of quantum spin is written as twice of the actual quantum spin, that is J is equal to 2 into nh cut by 2. Here J is the total angular momentum and n is the integer number. So equation 5 becomes J square is equal to 2 square into in bracket nh cut by 2 whole square is equal to k beta Tp Lp square Mp. By putting the value of all physical quantities in equation, that is n is equal to 1, h cut is equal to h over 2 pi, it means h is equal to 6.626 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule into second, k beta is equal to 1.38 into 10 raised to minus 23 joule per Kelvin, Tp is equal to 1.416 into 10 raised to 32 Kelvin, Mp is equal to 2.176 into 10 raised to minus 8 kilogram, and Lp is equal to 1.616 into 10 raised to minus 35 meter. One can validate equality of equation. So, .1129 is equal to 10 raised to minus 68 joule square into therefore the value of left hand side of equation 6 is n square h cut square is equal to 1.1129 into 10 raised to minus 68 joule square into second square, and the value of right hand side of the equation 6 is k beta Tp Lp square Mp is equal to 1.1104 into 10 raised to minus 68 joule into meter square into kilogram, and numerical value and dimension of the left hand side and right hand side. From validation, one can say that are almost same, and hence quantum spin J is in the spin network the square root of product of Boltzmann constant k beta, Planck temperature Tp, Planck area Lp square and Planck mass Mp. Thus, such a quantum spin can also be known as Planck spin at Planck scale. Spin network, as I mentioned earlier, spin network is the integral part of loop quantum gravity, which is used to generate loop states in loop quantum gravity. These results have far-reaching consequences in loop quantum gravity or quantum geometry. In equation 6, if we put n is equal to 1, we can have novel equation of reduced Planck constant h cut, that is h cut is equal to square root of k beta Tp Lp square Mp. Using equation 6 and 7, we can also derive novel equation of area and volume operator in quantum geometry. Quantum geometry is the another name of loop quantum gravity. In loop quantum gravity, gravitational field line or space-time field lines are allowed to intersect, pierce or puncture, and by this method in loop quantum gravity, surface area and volume are created. So by avoiding the possibility that edges are tangent to surface, considered surface, vortex is created by intersection of loops. One can generate area through intersection of these loops. So here in these two images I have shown that gravitational field line or space-time lines are intersected or punctured on given slide, and by this method it creates surface area, and in 3 dimension it creates volume. Similar to matter, matter has smallest sub-constituent, that is atom. Though in modern physics atom is no longer smallest sub-constituent, similar to matter, space has also atom which is known as atom of space, that I will explain soon. So here in these two images I have shown spin network lines where J1, J2, J3 are spin numbers or spin network lines number, while G1, G2, G3, G4 source group element number. In the LQG formation, the field lines are allowed, as I told, to intersect, pierce and puncture, and that is why by weaving it will deliver knots of loops. Thus the edge of graph theta intersect the surface S at many n location, and point of intersection are P1, P2 up to Pn. So only in the neighborhood of the punctures the quantum state psi theta will have non-zero area. In low quantum gravity, one should note that by puncturing or piercing spin network line, surface area is created. So first equation of area operator state is as psi theta is equal to summation m square root of j square psi theta, where j square is the Casimir operator of the rotational symmetry SO3. Here all elements of Lie algebra are commuted with the Casimir operator. Casimir operator is associated with quantization of angular momentum. Thus, new quantum spin perspective has deep relation with area and volume operator. On spin state, the action of j square can be written as j square cat vector small j is equal to j in bracket j plus 1 cat vector j. Here in equation 8, j square, as I told, is Casimir operator. I described it. Next equation is j square is equal to j square cat vector j is equal to h cut square j in bracket j plus 1 cat vector j. Casimir operator of SU2 group, it means special unitary 2 group. For the triad operator, triad operator is associated with in loop quantum gravity. So in LQG, Tk dot Tk is equal to j into j plus 1. Hence quantum state for the operator triad of S, it means Ek of S is E square of S cat vector S is equal to h cut square j into j plus 1 cat vector S. Here by assigning the angular momentum label jk to each edge of graph theta and inserting Planck area, that is Lp square. Here Planck length Lp is equal to square root of gh cut over c cube into both sides of the equation. The final equation of area operator is as psi theta is equal to 8 pi gamma Lp square summation k square root of jk in bracket jk plus 1 psi theta. Here gamma is Barbero immersive parameter, which is very important constant of loop quantum gravity. We will have equation number 13, that is as psi theta 8 pi gamma g square root of k beta tp Lp square mp over c cube summation k jk square root of jk in bracket jk plus 1 psi theta. Here By considering jk in bracket jk plus 1 as n square, we have one plot and one table. In table, since in quantum mechanics maximum allowed quantum spin is 2, here I have taken relationship between area operator and n square from 1 by 2 to 2. For 1 by 2 spin, n square is 3 by 2, n is 0.8660, and by this way, by putting these all values in equation 13, we will have value of area operator, that is 56.81 into 10 raised to minus 70 meter square, and so on. Similar to 1/2 up to 2, we can have 4 different value of area operator, and by plot of S versus n square, we can say that we have discrete spectrum of area operator of novel formula similar to old formula of area operator. In this second image schematic diagram, I have shown how any surface gets quantized area by surface puncture by line of spin network. So as I mentioned here, jk in bracket jk plus 1 is defined as n square. So n square is equal to jk in bracket jk plus 1. So equation 13 becomes as sin theta is equal to 8 pi gamma g square root of k beta tp lp square mp over c cube summation k square root of n square sin theta. Similar to area operator, in loop quantum gravity, one can also have novel formula of volume operator using new quantum spin perspective. In loop quantum gravity, solution of Wheeler-DeWitt equation that involves Hamiltonian constraint, other constraint like gauge constraint. Solution of this equation is found at the point of intersection, that is vertices in atom of space, and thus the action of volume operator is non-zero at these vertices of the graph theta. At last, the integral of the volume operator reduces to a sum over a finite number of vertices. V belongs to theta that resides as intersection of theta. So volume operator can be written as equation 15, that is V psi theta is equal to 1 by 6 summation V belongs to S intersection theta square root of epsilon BCD epsilon JKL and B and C and D operator JJ JK JL psi theta. So in equation 15, on the basis of orientation of edges, whether it is coming or in or emerging out at the vertex, we can have two different equation of volume operator. First one is Rovelli-Smolin type, that doesn't include the orientation of edges, while second one is Astaker-Lewandowski type, that includes orientation of edges that come into vertex. So in equation 16, I have shown Rovelli-Smolin type equation, that is Vs Rs sin theta is equal to gamma raised to 3 by 2 Lp cube summation V belongs to S intersection theta summation JKL in mod bracket I over 3 factorial into 8 epsilon BCD epsilon JKL NB NC ND operator JJ JK JL raised to 1 by 2 psi theta. And Astaker-Lewandowski type of volume operator equation is gamma raised to 3 by 2 Lp cube summation V belongs to S intersection theta I over 3 factorial 8 epsilon V in bracket NB NC ND epsilon BCD epsilon JKL NB NC ND operator JJ JK JL raised to 1 by 2 psi theta. So similar to area operator, the volume operator can also be modified in the following way. If in equation 17 we ignore orientation at vertices V and putting the value of reduced Planck constant h cut is equal to square root of k beta Tp Lp square mp, then the general form of volume operator is Vs is equal to gamma raised to 3 by 2 in bracket g over 3 cube raised to 3 by 2 in bracket square root of k beta Tp Lp square mp raised to 3 by 2 summation V belongs to S intersection theta in mod bracket I over 3 factorial 8 epsilon BCD epsilon JKL NB NC ND operator JJ JK JL raised to 1 by 2. So one can say that using new quantum spin perspective, new or novel formula for area and volume operator can be obtained. The transition of quantum geometry from Planck scale to nuclear scale can also be understood via new quantum spin perspective. How? Let's see. New quantum spin perspective can also explain smooth transition of quantum geometry from Planck scale to nuclear scale and atomic scale without changing the state of geometric operators such as area and volume operator. It means the value of h cut for every fermion, whether it is proton, neutron or electron, is constant. No matter whatever subconstituent particle you consider, h cut remain always constant. It is but obvious thing. For instance, the value of h cut for proton is 1.054 into 10 raised to minus 34 joule into second. Here I have considered proton field instead of single proton or number of proton particles. By considering proton field and using equation of area and volume operator for proton and reduced Planck constant equation for proton, that is h cut is equal to square root of k beta Tp plus r square p plus mp plus. So equation of area of operator for proton is AS is equal to 8 pi gamma g over c cube square root of k beta Tp plus r square p plus mp plus summation k square root of jk in bracket jk plus 1. And similar to area operator, volume operator is written as Vs is equal to gamma raised to 3 by 2 in bracket g over c cube raised to 3 by 2 in bracket square root of k beta Tp plus r square p plus mp plus raised to 3 by 2 summation V belongs to S intersection theta in mod bracket I over 3 factorial 8 epsilon BCD epsilon JKL NB NC ND J operator JJ JK JL. Here epsilon BCD is alternating tensor and another one is Levi-Civita symbol or Levi-Civita tensor. In this diagram I have shown atom of space which is created using loop quantum gravity. Here at vertices, if we consider spin network line, whether it is coming out or emerging, coming in or emerging out, we can have Ostaker-Lewandowski equation. Another line shows link. So in 3 dimension using loop quantum gravity, we can have atom of space. So in this research paper, I conclude that I propose new quantum spin perspective in which new formulas for total angular momentum and reduced Planck constant are proposed using thermodynamics, quantum physics and spin network. These formulas are initially found out of formula of temperature, as I mentioned, and thus I propose the procedure for the modification of the formula of geometrical operators such as area and volume operator, which are the integral part of LQG without changing its physical significance or actual physical significance. I also propose autocorrect or autobalance mechanism in the formula of area operator, and I also propose transition of Planck scale to nuclear scale using the modified formula of geometrical operators of loop quantum gravity. It means quantum geometry will make smooth transition from Planck scale to nuclear scale using this formula. Another published research work is implication of new quantum spin perspective in quantum gravity. In this research article, using new quantum spin perspective formula, I also propose novel formula for fundamental physical constants such as reduced Planck constant, gravitational constant, speed of light, Boltzmann constant, fine structure constant, etc. And these formulas are also successfully validated. With the aid of this perspective, I also find new formula for fundamental Planckian quantities as well as derived Planckian quantities. I also propose novel formula for Planck Star such as the size, the curvature, the surface area and the size of black hole for the Planck Star without modifying its significance. And in the end, the relation of quantum spin with the Planck temperature, that is Tp proportional to n square, Planck mass mp proportional to n square, Planck length Lp proportional to n are also proposed using this novel perspective. So using new quantum spin perspective, I propose novel formulas for fundamental physical constant. As I mentioned, gravitational constant g, speed of light c, Boltzmann constant k beta, fine structure constant alpha. I also validate the value of this constant. For instance, the value of Boltzmann constant k beta can be found as from equation number 6. K beta is equal to h cut square over Tp Lp square mp is approximately equal to 1.3806 into 10 raised to minus 23 joule per Kelvin. One can also calculate the value of G, C by comparing the derived formula of Planck temperature Tp from the quantum spin from equation 6 with the old formula of Planck temperature. The actual or old formula of Planck temperature is Tp is equal to square root of h cut c raised to 5 over g k beta square, and the derived formula of Planck temperature is Tp is equal to h cut square over k beta Tp square mp. By comparing equation 22 and 23, we can have novel equation of gravitational constant g and speed of light c, that is g is equal to c raised to 5 mp square Lp raised to 4 over h cut cube, approximately equal to 6.70 into 10 raised to minus 11 Newton into meter square per kilogram. And formula for speed of light is c is equal to fifth root of h cut cube g over Lp raised to 4 mp square, approximately equal to 2.9999 into 10 raised to 8 meter per second. And the new formula for fine structure constant from new quantum spin perspective using equation 7 is alpha is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon 0 e square raised over square root of k beta Tp Lp square mp into c, approximately equal to 0.007305997. So these all formulas are successfully validated, and values of these formulas are almost equal to actual values of this constant, and by this comparison one can have good agreement with previous formalism. And in this tabular form I have shown comparison between old formula and novel formula of this fundamental universal constant. First one is reduced Planck constant. Its old formula is h cut is equal to e over omega. Novel formula is h cut is equal to square root of k beta Tp Lp square mp. Second one is Boltzmann constant. Its old formula is k beta is equal to r over Na, which involves Avogadro number, and new formula is k beta is equal to h cut square over Tp Lp square mp. Old formula of gravitational constant is G is equal to Fr square over m square, and new formula is G is equal to C raised to 5 mp square Lp raised to 4 over h cut cube. Old formula of speed of light is C is equal to 1 over mu 0 epsilon 0, and new formula of speed of light is C is equal to fifth root of h cut cube G over Lp raised to 4 mp square. And old formula of fine structure constant alpha is equal to 1 over 4 pi epsilon 0 into E square over h cut C, and novel formula is 1 over 4 pi epsilon 0 E square over square root of k beta Tp Lp square mp into C. So similar to this, one can also derive novel formula for fundamental Planck units. So here the old formula of Planck quantities are compared with the newly derived formula of Planck units from quantum spin, or equation number 6 and equation number 7. These tables suggest again a good agreement of numerical value between the old fundamental Planck quantities and new fundamental Planck quantities. Firstly, in Planck length, old formula is Lp is equal to square root of h cut G over C cube, and new formula is Lp is equal to square root of h cut square over k beta Tp mp. Old formula of Planck mass is square root of h cut C over G, and new formula of Planck mass is mp is equal to h cut square over Tp Lp square k beta. Old formula of Planck temperature Tp is equal to square root of h cut C raised to 5 over G k beta square, and new formula for Tp is h cut square over k beta Lp square mp. And old formula for Planck time is Tp is equal to square root of h cut G over C raised to 5, and new formula is Tp is equal to square root of k beta Tp Lp square mp raised to 1 by 2 into G over C raised to 5. Similar to fundamental Planck units, one can also derive novel formula for derived Planck units. New set of formulas for derived Planck units can also be found, as I told, using this perspective at the Planck scale. This is the important thing that I have mentioned here. At the Planck scale, the matter and space-time exist in the form of quantum fields. So when one gives the new set of formulas for the derived Planck quantities, it means that various derived physical Planck quantities at the Planck scale for quantum fields, such as Planck density ρp, Planck acceleration P, Planck momentum, Planck force, Planck energy, Planck frequency, Planck charge, are introduced. At first glance, it is but obvious thing. One thinks this quantity belongs to any particle state, but rather it belongs to quantum field at the Planck scale, where only quantum fields exist. So in this table I have compared old formula of Planck charge, Planck momentum, Planck energy, Planck density, Planck acceleration, Planck force, and Planck frequency with novel formula of it. Again, by validation, I can say that value of novel formula of all these derived Planck quantities are approximately equal to actual formula of derived Planck quantities. In this table, I have given all derived novel formula of derived Planck quantities. Next results are very important. That is, the quantum gravitational effect starts to appear when Planck scale is considered, and hence this perspective is crucial as it derives fundamental as well as derived Planck units with novel formulas, especially for the physics of black hole and Big Bang. At Planck scale, for mutual small change between Planck temperature Tp, Planck mass mp, Planck length mp, which are related to quantum spin, one can say that there are novel formula and novel relationship between quantum spin, temperature, quantum spin, Planck mass, quantum spin, and Planck length. It means here I establish relationship of quantum spin with this all fundamental Planck quantities, and here I take two Planckian quantities as constant while establishing the relationship of the quantum spin with the third Planck quantity. For instance, the Planck mass and Planck length are taken as constant while establishing the relationship between Planck temperature and the quantum spin. Here it should be noted that the change in the value of Planck temperature, Planck mass, and Planck length with the integer n is very small at the Planck scale, but it adds a new notion for Planckian physics, that is quantum gravity. Let us consider first novel consideration or novel relationship between Planck temperature and quantum spin. One can also validate equation of new quantum spin perspective by calculating the value of Tp, Lp, and Np. The value of Planck temperature from the equation 7 can be calculated, that is Tp is equal to 1.419 into 10 raised to 32 Kelvin, which is approximately equal to actual value of Planck temperature, that is 1.416 into 10 raised to 32 Kelvin. Thus, this value is almost equal to actual value, and here integer n is equal to 1 again considered in the above formula. H cut, k beta, Lp square, and Np are constant at the Planck scale. Hence, the Planck temperature depends on integer square of integer n square or integer square of integer. Therefore, Tp is equal to constant R1 into n square is n square. It means Tp proportional to n square. Here constant R1 is equal to h cut square over k beta Lp square Mp. Let us understand by this one example. You might have observed spinning top. Because of the friction with the surface, the tip of top gets heat that will transfer from the down to upper side. Here rate of rotation of top is very small, though heat is created in small amount of quantity. If you consider subatomic particle like electron, neutron, proton, whose rate of rotation are big, in that case one can understand relationship of quantum spin with the temperature. If you consider neutron star also rotates around its own axis with more speed. In that case, you can also consider this relationship. In this table, I have shown relationship between n square, and Tp for 4 different integer value, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. And by this table, we can have plot, that is Tp versus n square, which is completely straight. Similar to this relationship, one can also derive relation between Planck mass and quantum spin, and gained value of Planck mass is 2.181 into 10 raised to minus 8 kilogram, which is approximately equal to actual value of Planck mass, that is 2.176 into 10 raised to minus 8 kilogram. Here again we have considered n is equal to 1, and in the above formula h cut k beta Lp square Tp are constant at Planck scale, and that is why we can have equation number 30, that is Mp is equal to R2 n square. It means Mp proportional to n square. Here constant R2 is equal to h cut square over k beta Lp square Tp. Similar to Tp, here I have given one table where I have given relationship between n square, and Mp for 4 integer value 1, 2, 3, 4, and thereafter I have given plot of Mp versus n square, which is again straight. Similar to these two relationships, one can also relate Planck length with the quantum speed, and similar to Planck mass, we can have new value of LP here, one typographical mistake. Instead of MP, LP must be there. LP is equal to 1.618 is equal to 10 raised to minus 35 meter, which is again approximately equal to actual value of Planck length, that is 1.616 into 10 raised to minus 35 meter. Again, similar to previous relationship, here again n is equal to 1 considered. H cut, k beta, mp and tp are constant at Planck scale, and the equation will be LP is equal to R3n. It means LP proportional to n, and constant R3 is equal to square root of h cut square over k beta tp mp. Here again I have established relation between integer n and LP, and I have given plot of LP versus n, which is again straight. Thereafter, using new quantum spin perspective, one can also derive new formula of some quantity of Planck star. What is Planck star? Let us consider. Let us see. In loop quantum gravity, Planck star is proposed, which is an important object and resided at the singularity point of the black hole. It is created when the energy density becomes of the order of Planckian, and at that point the quantum gravitational pressure prevents the gravitational collapse. This whole process takes many years for an outside observer, but it takes few seconds in local frame of reference. It is supposed to be a solution of black hole information paradox in loop quantum gravity, and using new quantum spin perspective, I propose new formulas regarding the theory of Planck star. The actual formula of the size of Planck star is R approximately equal to in bracket m over mp raised to n LP. Using novel formula of Planck length and Planck mass, the novel formula of Planck size of Planck star can be expressed as R approximately equal to in bracket m tp LP square k beta over h cut square raised to n into square root of h cut square over k beta tp mp. Curvature of Planckian energy density are related to each other in Planck star, that is R 8 pi rho p. Rho p is Planckian density, so it can also be expressed through novel mathematical expression using equation 6 and 7. It means R approximately equal to 8 pi mp into in bracket k beta tpmp over h cut square raised to 3 by 2. The surface area of Planck star is written as A is equal to in bracket m over mp raised to 2 by 3 into LP square. The novel formula for this surface area is written as A is equal to in bracket m k beta tp LP square over h cut square raised to 2 by 3 into h cut square over k beta tp mp. In Planck star, using the theory of Planck star, lifetime of black hole having mass of the order of 10 raised to 12 kilogram can be predicted, that is TBH is equal to 14 into 10 raised to 9 years, which is approximately equal to the age of our universe. The size of this black hole can be expressed as R cube approximately equal to GH cut over 348 pi c square into TBH. Using Planck area, Planck time, novel expression for this radius is given as R is equal to cube root of TBH over 348 pi TP into LP is equal to cube root of TBH 348 pi TP into square root of h cut square over k beta TP mp. So from this modification, one can see that the size, surface area involves some new Planckian quantities that adds new significance to this topic. Since no new formulas are validated, this modification doesn't change the significance of actual formula. So here I conclude that in this section, in this research article, some theoretical results in quantum gravity using new quantum spin perspective are given, Firstly, new formulas for fundamental physical constant are derived using new quantum spin perspective. Thereafter, new formulas for fundamental as well as derived Planckian quantities are given using new quantum spin perspective. I also established relationship between quantum spin with the Planck temperature, Planck mass, Planck length. Some formulas of Planck Star are also re-derived using new quantum spin perspective without modifying their physical significance. Another important research outcome in this series of outcome of new quantum spin perspective is my third research article, that is new quantum spin perspective and spacetime of mind stuff. It established brand new theory of physics, that is quantum theory of yoga. It also established new physics or new branch of physics, that is physics of yoga or yogic physics. In this research article, the relationship between new quantum spin perspective and spacetime of the mind stuff is established. So as I told earlier, the fundamental building block of the loop quantum gravity is the spin network, which is used to quantize physical spacetime in loop quantum gravity, as it creates loop states in loop quantum gravity. I propose new quantum spin perspective using basic concept of spin network, and this perspective redefines the notion of quantum spin and also introduce novel definition of the reduced Planck constant. The implication of this perspective is not only limited to the quantum gravity but also found in the quantum mechanics, also found in philosophy of physics, in yoga philosophy, and in many other branches. Using this perspective, I also propose quantization of the mind stuff or spacetime of the mind stuff. Similarity between physical spacetime and spacetime of mind stuff provides novel notion to study the spacetime scientifically as well as philosophically. The comparison between physical spacetime and spacetime of mind stuff is also given in the end. So as I mentioned earlier, by giving the example of spinning top, whenever you might have observed the spinning top, because of the friction with the surface, as I mentioned, the tip of this top gets heat, which will transfer through convection process to upper part. So here, by considering this example, one can understand relationship between temperature and quantum spin. In this research article, we will see that how restlessness of the mind stuff affect streams of mind stuff by this analogy. So first of all, I will introduce spin network. In quantum physics, we know that one of the foremost discretized and quantized quantity which is studies is angular momentum, and quantum physics implies that a quantity that is discrete and connected with the space-time structure deeply is the angular momentum. In 1971, Penrose gave a discrete model of space which depends on concept of quantized angular momentum with the purpose to create a consistent model from which continuous classical geometry emerged out in a limit. So the spin network is the theory of quantized space-time in which the quantized space-time is created as a result, as it is background independent quantum field theory or quantum gravity theory. So the concept of the direction of macroscopic space is priori unknown due to quantum indeterminacy I mentioned earlier. Therefore, one has to deal with the total angular momentum or J value instead of specific direction or M value of angular momentum. And that is why total angular momentum is more important than concept of angular momentum. In spin network, the lines of spin network can also be seen as the world line of particles which explain trajectory of particle and which is analogous to quantum field theory. By assigning number to each line, It is known as spin number, which I have demonstrated in this figure. The spin number should be an integer number. The spin number is defined as twice of the actual angular momentum value, that is nh cut over 2 in terms of reduced Planck constant h cut, that is j is equal to 2 into nh cut by 2. In this figure I have shown spin network where each line of the spin network represents any compound system which distinguishes itself from other system. In spin network, particles or system transfer the angular momentum by regrouping into different subsystems or by annihilating one another or by producing new units. For instance, in the left corner, spin network line 3 is converted into another two spin network line, that is 2 and 3. Thereafter, next spin network line 3 is again converted into another two spin network line. By this way, these spin network lines, by regrouping or by annihilation, will give us spin network or spin form. Earlier in my other lecture I have explained that evolution of spin network, which is two-dimensional, gives us spin form which is three-dimensional. So in loop quantum gravity, spin network is useful to understand physical significance of Wheeler-DeWitt equation, which involves Hamiltonian constraint, that is Hamiltonian constraint ket vector psi is equal to 0. The solution of this equation can only be found in the atom of space at nodes using the spin network. So loop quantum gravity or quantum geometry studies that how these lines view in three dimensions through some over geometry in the quantum space, which is generated by the loop quantum gravity. The lines of spin network intersects and create nodes at the point of intersection that I have mentioned in the diagram of atom of space. These lines in the LQG are known as links. A set of intersecting lines produce a graph which is again two-dimensional, and quantum space in LQG is known as atom of space. Now, if I consider evolution of spin network, I get spin form I mentioned, which is the result of summing over geometry generated by the spin network of loop quantum gravity, which is covariant approach of quantum gravity. Now let us consider philosophical aspect of this research. In yoga philosophy, there are three kinds of space-time. First one is physical space-time, which is explained by modern physics. Second one is space-time of mind stuff, which is explained by my research work and combining yoga philosophy or Patanjali Yoga Sutra. Third one is space-time of mind stuff. Let's see some basic of these three space-time. Physical space-time is made up of five basic elements or physical elements, that is space, gas, fire, water and earth. In other words, it is made up of space, time, matter and radiation. All physical phenomena are occurred at this level. Whatever is perceived by human being at sensory levels belongs to this space-time. By careful study of the structure of physical space-time, one can understand that it will lead us towards study of space-time of mind stuff, and beyond this space-time of mind stuff begins. By the end of this slide, you can understand this. Physical space-time is governed by the space-time of mind stuff. Next one is space-time of mind stuff. All psychological events happen at this level. Everything that is there in the physical space-time is also there in the space-time of mind stuff. However, its form may be different. In other words, every physical object is resided in the space-time of mind stuff without physical manifestation. So in the philosophy of yoga, there are three sort of bodies of observer who is observing any physical phenomena. First one is physical body or macroscopic body. Second one is macroscopic body or creator of the physical body. Third one is the causal body, which is polarizing agency for the rest of the body. So what happens? Let us understand hierarchy of these three space-time. In the presence of consciousness, the mind stuff begins to create this all physical object which were once without physical manifestation. This space-time is the boundary of the intellect that governs the mind and the ego on the mind stuff. Actually, from the mind stuff, ego, intellect are created according to Yogic philosophy. The space-time of mind stuff can also be quantized, in which all characteristics of the quantum physics can be applied. Similar to physical space-time, this space-time is also background independent, and the space-time of mind stuff is governed by the space-time of consciousness. Space-time of consciousness is the third space-time in this hierarchy, and it is resided at the top. The space-time at which the eternal joy or the holy emotion of self-existence only stands. At the space-time of consciousness, the existence of physical space-time and space-time of mind stuff ceases, as only consciousness exists. The consciousness that governs the physical space-time and space-time of mind stuff resides here. Due to measurement problem, which I have explained in my channel, and collapse of the wave function, one cannot define the characteristic of the consciousness. In short, the consciousness, similar to wave function, can be felt but cannot be studied, while the conscious being is involved in its study in the meditative state. So in this diagram, I have shown relationship between these three space-time. From diagram, one can understand that space-time of consciousness is the universal set, whose subset is space-time of mind stuff, and physical space-time is the subset of the space-time of mind stuff as well as space-time of the consciousness. Let us see how one can quantize space-time of mind stuff. When the mind stuff is studied as the space-time similar to physical space-time, classical as well as quantum, at least in principle, it gives birth to a new branch of physics, that is physics of yoga or yogic physics, which will in turn gives us quantum theory of yoga. In physics, subject of study are space, time, matter and radiation, while in physics of the yoga, the subject of the study is the mind stuff itself, or sometimes it is called mind. So what happens in the meditative state? As per circumstances and upward movement, the mind stuff transforms into the mind, intellect and the ego. In yoga philosophy, the observer is the consciousness or the observer that exhibits consciousness, and the object that is being observed is the nature, for instance external universe or physical body. So in this image I have shown how human or any animal perceives insight regarding any external object. What happens in this whole process? All three space-time are involved. The physical space-time behaves as external agency to comprehend the space-time of the mind stuff by the mind stuff in the presence of consciousness. The mind stuff or the mind itself comprehends the space-time of the mind stuff through this procedure. For instance, whenever you see any object, your motor nerve will send a signal to your brain regarding its identity. Thereafter, the sensory nerve will collect the identity from brain if it has in its database, and it will send to the eye, and thereafter you will identify whether this object is known or unknown. If in the database of your brain, the entry of this object is already there, you will identify it. If it is not there, you cannot identify. So this is how your ear, your eyes, your nose can identify external object or external universe. In reality, nature tends to show similar structure in both the space-time, physical as well as space-time of mind stuff. In this whole procedure, the consciousness does nothing, but without its presence, the mind stuff cannot function properly. For instance, without electricity, your computer cannot work, no matter hardware is procured and all software are running good. According to this definition of yoga from Patanjali Yoga Sutra in the yogic philosophy, the yoga means yogas chitta vritti nirodha. It means to restrain the mind start taking various kind of streams or forms. So let us consider how one can quantize space-time of mind stuff. So in these two paragraphs, I have proposed quantization of mind stuff. The mind stuff will take various forms, streams or vritti, which is nothing but oscillation, what kind of oscillation in space-time of mind stuff, and responsible to create space-time of mind stuff. The space-time of the mind stuff is analogous to the spin network of low quantum gravity. The form or the stream is analogous to the quantum spin of the spin network. The quantum spin of the spin network is the fundamental unit of low quantum gravity that discretize the classical space-time, while streams or forms are quantum units of the space-time of mind stuff that quantize the mind stuff. What happens? The procedure described earlier in the first research article while describing temperature also happens in the space-time of the mind stuff. I have given analogy of spinning top. You can apply that analogy here. Various sort of forms which are actually disturbance in space-time of mind stuff creates the space-time of mind stuff that makes mind restless. This restless is analogous to average kinetic energy, and therefore it is these forms which generates the space-time of mind stuff. So without the evolution of spin network, the quantum space can never be the quantum space-time. Similar to this, it is these streams or forms which converts this quantum space of the mind stuff into quantized space-time of the mind stuff. If the quantum space-time in the low quantum gravity is extrapolated in the backward direction, one gets a point or one reaches to a point where a single node of the spin network exists, which has no physical significance since low quantum gravity is relational by nature. Similar to this, if the quantized space-time of the mind stuff is extrapolated backward in the backward direction, one gets a point where only a form or a stream exists from which other forms are created. And similar to physical space-time, space-time of mind stuff or yoga philosophy is also relational in nature, and such kind of forms generate the psychological era of time at the space-time of the mind stuff. What happens in the state of superconsciousness, which is the highest meditative state? There are also many subclasses of superconsciousness in yoga philosophy. There will be absence of the forms, hence the space-time of the mind stuff is merged into consciousness. By gradual practice of meditation, day by day, streams or forms in mind stuff are decreasing. So in LQG, the order of time is created when the evolution of the spin network is considered, that is spin form, while the state of superconsciousness makes the conscious being free of the order of time, where the mind stuff is merged into consciousness when the forms are gradually decreased through meditation. In this slide, I have shown comparison between physical spacetime and spacetime of mind stuff. Once John Wheeler told that mass tells spacetime how to curve and spacetime tells mass how to move. Similar to that sentence which was applied to general theory of relativity, in physical spacetime, the quantum field of massive particle tells the quantized spacetime how to curve, and quantized spacetime tells the quantum field of the massive particle how to move. While in spacetime of mind stuff, various forms which are the quantum of the mind stuff tells the quantized mind stuff how to curve, and the quantized mind stuff tells various forms how to move. Physical spacetime follows locality. It means here speed of light is constant, while spacetime of mind stuff doesn't follow locality. It means here phenomena are non-local. Both the spacetime, that is physical, and spacetime of mind stuff are relational in nature. In physical spacetime, one-dimensional loops create the quantum space, while in spacetime of mind stuff, the streams or forms creates the quantum space of the mind stuff. In physical spacetime, the spacetime singularities occurred when stellar or galactic object is converted into black hole in gravitational collapse, which is resolved by the big bounce model in the loop quantum gravity. While spacetime singularity of the mind stuff occur when the mind stuff reaches to the superconscious state. This singularity can also be resolved by quantization of spacetime of the mind stuff. Last point of discrepancy is the solution of the Wheeler-DeWitt equation in the loop quantum gravity is found at nodes of the spin network when this process is extrapolated in the backward direction, while the solution of quantum space of the mind stuff is found at the first form of first stream, where this process is extrapolated in the backward direction in the meditative state. So here I conclude that in this research article, first of all, a literature survey is carried out regarding the relationship between quantum physics, consciousness with the introduction of relationship between philosophy and physics. Thereafter, loop quantum gravity along with the spin network is briefly discussed in layman's terms. Thereafter, basics of Patanjali Yoga aphorism or yoga philosophy is discussed. Then, using new quantum spin perspective and Patanjali Yoga Sutra, the quantization of mind stuff is proposed. Later on, comparison between physical spacetime and spacetime of mind stuff is given. There are 3 research articles on new quantum spin perspective. First one is new quantum spin perspective and geometrical operators of quantum geometry. Second one is implication of new quantum spin perspective in quantum gravity. And third one is new quantum spin perspective and spacetime of the mind stuff. Thank you very much for listening and watching. If you have any question regarding new quantum spin perspective, quantum theory of yoga and its implication, you can ask in the comment section. If you like my video, please share and subscribe my YouTube channel. Thank you very much.